I show every night for the last 60-some nights, right from the textbooks, there was a big bang where nothing exploded, and then Earth cooled down, developed a hard rocky crust, and it turned into soup from the rain, and the soup came alive. That is all part of the evolution theory.
No, it isn't. None of that is. The Big Bang Theory, nucleosynthetic theory, stellar formation theory, and the assorted hypotheses of abiogenesis are all distinctly separate theories. Well, except for abiogenesis, of course. And none of them are any part of evolution theory. This sort of religious distortion of scientific concepts is what physicist Wolfgang Pauli famously criticized in saying, "This isn't right, this isn't even wrong." Inmate 0645-2017 has just given us an example of fractal wrongness, where his perspective is so wrong that any arguments to support it are also wrong on every point and at every level. He's been corrected about this plenty of times before, including by me directly over and over again. But as I said, he does not concede any of his own mistakes because those are all he has, and he can't learn. So he just keeps repeating the same old lies, and I have to keep repeating the same corrections to them. For example, take a look at Berkeley University's introductory primer, Evolution 101, which I know he's already seen because he said so. Notice that it shows a basic division of prokaryotes and eukaryotes, but makes no mention at all about the origin of life, nor the origin of chemicals, planets, or the cosmos. That's because evolution is not about the origin of life, the universe, and everything. I think he's equivocating the modern definition of the theory of evolution, descent with inherent modification in reproductive populations of living organisms over many generations, and he's confusing that with the colloquial meaning of simply any change over time, which is what evolution meant back when Darwin initially chose that word and subsequently enhanced it. He says he got all this from his textbooks, but let's check mine. This one from Pearson says that evolution is descent with modification, the idea that living species are descendants of ancestral species that are different from the present day ones. And this one from McGraw-Hill says evolution is genetic change in population of organisms. And this one from Thompson says evolution is any cumulative genetic changes in a population from generation to generation, and that evolution leads to differences in populations and explains the origins of all the organisms that exist today or that have ever existed. Of course, the origin of organisms referred to what Darwin called the origin of species rather than the origin of life, because the origin of life obviously didn't begin with living ancestors, which is part of the definition of evolution. So abiogenesis is not part of evolution, and neither is planetary formation nor cosmogony, all of which were grossly misrepresented by this anti-scientist. As I've already explained earlier in this very debate, evolution is not a religion for the reasons explained by my most recent video and the first part of this series. So 0645-2017 has no defense in repeating this lie. Likewise, the Big Bang wasn't nothing that exploded. And first of all, it wasn't an absolute philosophical nothing. Not even Lawrence Krauss believes in an absolute philosophical nothing. And cosmic inflation isn't really an explosion either. Not that I want to defend the Big Bang. I accept that it's the only theory of cosmic origin, and to challenge any theory I would have to produce a better theory to use in its place, but I don't really like the Big Bang, probably because I don't understand it. He jumps from there to the Earth cooling down, skipping a significant step that we'll cover in a moment, but to say that the rocky crust of the Earth became a soup because of the rain is just indefensibly false. To add that the soup came alive is also false and shows that he doesn't have any idea what he's talking about. As I explained in my middle school primer, abiogenesis is a multi-stage collection of overlapping processes in succession. And not only does it not necessarily depend on the primordial soup hypothesis, but it wouldn't be the soup coming alive even if it did. So everything he just said is inexcusably wrong. He even skipped out on one of his alleged intermediate stages of evolution, but he came back to it later.